listeners, and welcome back to the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions Radio Show with Ronald Couming from RCS Technology Solutions, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs achieve even greater success using various Internet marketing techniques and methods. This radio show has dual purposes. In the first two episodes, we bring on subject matter experts from around the world who talk to us about how they personally achieved even greater success, and they'll give us some actionable tips on how you, too, could possibly utilize some of their methods and techniques. In the third and final section, I give away some free actionable tips. And I just want to let everybody know that myself and my guests, we all come on here for free, and we're just giving back, so there's no agenda. And also, every episode is archived, so if you're unable to write any information down to contact the guests or myself, please go to either the radio station, WCAP, 980.com, and up in the right-hand corner you'll see archive. But you can also go to my website, www.rcstechnologysolutions.com, and then go to media, scroll down to radio shows, and you can listen to all the episodes going back to the very first one. Today, I'm very, very excited to introduce our first guest. He is a rock star on a level that you probably have not even met. He works on things that us, common people, so to speak, we won't even hear or know about for like 30 years. These people are light years ahead of us, so I'm super psyched. My first guest is Curtiss-Wright, PE. He is the former Chief Technical Officer of Curtiss-Wright Defense Solutions, a company driven by innovation anchored in technology, firsts from the Wright brothers and Glenn Curtiss. Recognized as a company that builds and deploys computer systems to ward off the bad guys and protect our warfighters, before Arnold Schwarzenegger played an international spy in the movie True Lies, Curtiss was living the real thing, constantly traveling to places unknown, disappearing for weeks on end, and traveling to cities most of us can't even pronounce. Curtiss spends most of his days focused on researching the most innovative and futuristic technologies, predicting the next technology disruption 30 years into the future, and providing migration plans to assure our technology edge. He is dedicated to mentoring future generations of engineers and scientists to secure our planet's future. He attributes his success to focus on the following: living an exhilarating life, protecting positivity, never-ending adventure, and pure happiness. While this James Bond might not order a martini shaken, not stirred, he does have government clearance to rival any secret agents. Allow me to introduce everyone to my guest today, which is Curtis Reichenfeld. Curtis, how are you?
Hey, Ron, how you doing? Happy to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for gracing us with our presence. And I affectionately refer to you as the $5 billion CTO.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Curtis, we spoke last Friday, and I am thoroughly impressed. And, what you talked to me about, I could literally talk to you for hours on end. Obviously you don't have that kind of time for me, but yeah, it's amazing. If you could tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and your history, I think that they would be equally as impressed.
Okay, yeah, and you were trying to focus on just giving something back, and like I said, you know me, I could just talk for hours and hours and hours, and we could just do this. But part of my career, I started out, just started with my education, working, going to UCLA, but having the hard work to actually take a year off and make enough money as a summer job to pay for my own education, working myself through school and, appreciating that. And then, taking on every opportunity to learn wherever learning is done. So, going to UCLA, I did take summer internships at a company called Lear Seidler in Santa Monica, just down at the airport there. And being able to work for a company where the original Bill Lear, who invented the Learjet, so to speak, and working with these people during my education actually helped me focus my education and what was important in the industry world. So it's kind of like the getting a preview of a real career while you're getting your education to be qualified for that career. So very interesting. We'll go from there. But as we go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay.
As you talk, I'll pipe in with a question or two.
So as I progressed, it was interesting. This was in the early '80s. So computers and integrated circuits and that type of technology. Some of it in its infancy, and my focus was electrical engineering with a focus on solid state physics and IC or computer chip design. And what happened was when I'm working at Lear, they sent me to St. Louis to McDonnell Douglas, and I sat in the cockpit of an F-15E, troubleshooting some of the computers we worked on, and just fell in love with aviation. So deferring my career from chip design to fighter planes is kind of where I went with it. And the interesting thing is, from that first point when I started at Lear, everything I learned along the way is on-the-job training. It's not taught in books. Everything I learned at UCLA was at basis, a foundation, if you will. And then if you take that, everything learned thereafter is either self-taught, self-learned, or mentored in, or on-the-job training. So it's very interesting when you kind of say, how do you get to how you got there? It's difficult. It's not difficult. It's just with any industry, it's latch on to anything you don't know, have this voracious learning appetite, be curious about everything, question everything, and, work it 24/7. That's how you get to where you are. And I guess that's...
Yeah. I love it, and that's kind of like how you started, and that is fascinating, especially with the founding people of such huge conglomerates or organizations. But did it take you like years of training to get to the point, or when did you really feel like you were, I don't want to say competent in your job, but where you could just go out and do it, without even really thinking about it, just getting it done?
I guess at the time when I was doing it, you really don't think about when you actually get that education. You just focus on the task at hand and try to do the best you can and make sure that what you're doing is, in my case, was to either protect our warfighter and not endanger life of any sort, because the type of jobs that we do and the computer systems we do, there is always an element of catastrophe, if you will. So, and you've got to focus, and make sure and test every possible scenario to ensure that what you do and what you produce and what you put into the field to either protect our warfighters or to help secure this country, is absolutely foolproof. And so keep working it like that. And
thank you so much. I mean, the first responders and our military is why people like us can live the life we do live. So thank you very much for helping ensuring their safety to a larger degree. And one of the other things I love, really like the way you said that you latched on to an expert in any field that was willing to teach you and gain as much valuable knowledge to accelerate your career. I really, really love that type of mentality. One of the things I tell my clients in this industry is, you can level up 2 or 3 levels quick just by getting yourself a coach or a mentor, somebody who's already been there, so you don't have to go through all those trial and errors. And it sounds to me like, that was kind of like your mentality and from the very beginning, starting when you were as early as 20-ish.
No, and exactly, and it's I'm working in a lab on the F-16 computer system, and it's a full authority fly-by-wire flight control system, and you're gonna have to Google some of that stuff to figure out what that really means. But I had a problem, I had a question on something I was working on, and I walked up to some of my colleagues and I said, "Hey, what is this thing? Who created this diagram or specification?" And they said, is Wayne Berkland, who's in the office over there, who is like the guru of flight control systems and stability of, fighter aircraft. I go, okay, I'll go ask him. And they looked at me like, are you insane? You're going to go ask him? And I go, who else has the answer, right?
Yeah. I love it,
so,
man. I love it.
That's
how you do it.
Yeah. I knocked on his door, and he is in a office that starts with an office light on it. And I can still picture this. A little office light, piles of paper to the ceiling everywhere, and he is sitting there working on a problem over a little desk lamp. And he looked up, and I said, sir, my name's Curtis. I'm an intern here, and I was working on something. I had a question. And he invited me into his office. The door closed, and he gave me an education in flight control systems that was invaluable. In 4 hours, I knew more than any of my colleagues, just because I didn't have the fear. Just walk in and ask questions, and to take in action and say, I don't know what it is, or fear that I can't talk to this guy because he is, awesome over here. Just to, if you don't try anything, you don't know if you can succeed or not. So don't have any fear, question everything, and just work at it. And my whole life was, without any arrogance or anything, I'm the smartest person in the world until I find somebody smarter. And once I do, I'm going to latch onto that and learn what he knows. So.
I love it. And I go to a lot of seminars and a lot of teachings and stuff like that, so I can learn and up-level myself. And one of the main things they tell us is that you want to be the dumbest guy in the room, or female in the room, because you want to be in the room. If you're the smartest person in the room, then what are you going to learn? So, and the fact that you took action when other people, especially the other person, was like, what, are you crazy? You can't go ask him. And pow, you got a 4-hour education just by knocking on the door. That's priceless.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest failure is inaction, right?
Yep.
If you don't ask, you're not going to get it. How would you know unless you ask? So question, find out. And like you said, being the dumbest person in the room, and being able to learn from every other person in the room, anything that you haven't mastered in your life, that is the best education to get. And I encourage everybody to be as curious, question, and latch on to anybody that is just successful and is in any industry, and learn from that person. And by God, anybody in our industry that's at a point where we call them graybeards and have been there, done that for 30 years, and are just the gurus of any technology or any discipline, if you ask those people, they are more than willing to help. Just ask, and they'll sit you down, take you out, and take you under their wing, because all we want to do is give back, right? What are we going to do with this knowledge when we go? We got to pass it on.
Yep, and I'm going to ask you, and with that, I'm going to ask you a question that I don't think I've ever asked anyone before, and probably never even came into my mind to ask.
Oh, my God. Okay, I'm ready.
What does it take to build a guidance system for a supersonic jet?
What does it take? It takes like I said, a curiosity. There is a problem, right? And there is always a problem out there, and it requires a unique solution. And there are 100 paths to take to that solution, and how to figure out the best path to do that. But along the way, when you're designing a system, if I need to understand Kalman filters, I need to understand inertial nav systems. Like my guru in flight controls, I go find the best of the best in the industry and just ask. And once you put all those bits and pieces together from the industry experts, you get to actually create something that hasn't been done before. And it's all a matter of being a system integrator and being able to focus and visualize how all these bits and pieces can come together and work together and solve the problem at hand. So that's how it's done. There's no
in a nutshell. That was in like 2 minutes. I'm sure it takes a little bit more than that, but
it does. I'm kind of ad-libbing here because I know we have some limited time. But if as soon as you hit a wall in any problem, and it's like voracious curiosity, exploring possible technologies maybe not tried before, right? The only way that we take a leap in innovation and technologies, which I'm trying to project 30 years out, is to use things or try things that have never been done before and see what the result is. And you may fail, and then you just cross that off and say that's one way not to do it, and then one day you're going to use something differently. It's going to be successful. And you go, oh, awesome, something new. Let's go.
I love it, and that's kind of like that. Yep, that's kind of like what Einstein said too. Is he didn't find 10,000. He didn't fail 10,000 times trying to invent a light bulb. He found 10,000 ways that it didn't work, and then he finally got to the right way. So you never fail.
Exactly.
You just until you stop trying. Am I correct?
Yeah. You try, and again, there's no fear in failure. There's no shame in failure, and you have to be in an environment that accepts that failure is going to happen. But that is the education to create some genius in terms of just try, and I just found 10,000 ways not to do it. I found the right way to do it, and that's with anything. The real failure in life is not even trying or not, inaction, if you will. But no fear and no retribution, just try. I failed 30 times, but that 31st time, oh, my God, he invented the light bulb or whatever. Yep,
and that's huge, man, and I agree with you. You got to keep trying, and that goes back to what you said earlier about taking action. You come up with an idea, and as long as whatever your passion is, your why is, as long as it's strong enough, you'll find a way to get it done. You just can't quit. Because when you quit, and that's when you actually fail, right?
Yeah, and I see that, and you talk about how my role as CTO, and I said, I have the easiest job in the world, and people are going, are you kidding me? And I go, I have the easiest job in order of my role to be a mentor and make decisions for people as they have questions along the way of designing some of these real superior technology projects. And when I say that the easiest job is, they come into my office, and my door's always open, or they can open it, knock the door, interrupt me. I don't care. Once somebody comes into my office, I drop what I'm doing and focus on what they need, because that's how you move projects forward or companies forward. So they come in and they give me, we don't know what to do. We need to do either A or we need to do B. And either I know what to do, and no, there's a little secret, or I don't know what to do because I haven't researched the problem. I just pick one. Oh, let's do B. And they go, oh, thank you. And then go off and do B. And did I know that's the right answer? Absolutely not. But what I've done is enable them to take action rather than have them ponder whether A or B, try B. And if it fails, well, then the answer is A, right?
Yep.
But
one thing go ahead.
Well, yeah, the worst thing is having them spend a week trying to figure out whether it's A or B and having continuous meetings, discussions, etc., rather than just frickin' pick one. Do it in day one on Monday, and if it fails on Monday, wow, we got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to work problem A, rather than being at Friday and still having indecision.
Yeah, so I guess it goes back to, like you said earlier, about that indecision, taking action and figuring out what worked, what didn't work, staying positive, and always coming from a solution-orientated mindset instead of being stuck in a problem.
Yeah, and enjoying yourself along the way, having a good time, not taking anything too seriously. I mean, it's very serious business, but if you look around your office area, you find the people that are smiling and happy and having a good time, and I bet those are the top performers at your organization. So try to be that guy. Try to smile, laugh, have a great time in life, and things will come and things will be achieved. And stress is a killer, and try not to be that guy, but the positive guy, the happy person that everybody goes, what do you do to be who you are and how successful you are? And it's a very simple formula. Just enjoy everything you do in life.
And I can actually hear that. It radiates. I mean, with all that's going on in your life, I mean, I can hear it in your voice. You radiate joy and happiness, and I can see how that can be infectious to the people around you.
Yeah, and that's it's funny. It draws people in, and it actually helps me find people, that I can either help mentor or, any question they have about, where I got to how, I'm happy to share because, the more happy, people that are generating, excellent work products for, our future, the world's future, and solving hard problems. My God, what a better world if I just keep doing what we're doing, and then I pass it on, and they keep doing it, and get this pyramid scheme or whatever. And if everybody has done it, how can we not solve everything that we need to solve? I mean,
I love it. People working together to solve a lot of issues. I can hear a common theme here, and I like when you talk about being a mentor and giving back, and like this whole show is about giving back, but you're giving back on a much larger scale with Karma International and some of the other things you're doing. I've had several guests, including the founder of Karma International on last week, was Marvin Epstein, and I've had several other guests, and I have a couple more coming on in the future. I'm a big fan of Karma because of their entire mindset and what they do. Can you tell us a little bit about how you found Karma and how it's worked for you and stuff like that?
Oh, okay, absolutely. At the time, I was introduced to Karma in 2009, and at the time, I was going through a period where I was focused on working a hard problem, right? And I didn't follow my own advice, and I kept my head down, and people didn't see me for weeks or months because I was focused on a problem. And they, somebody finally tapped me on the shoulder, woke me up and said, "Curtis, we need to get out." I said, "All right, let's go out." So he took me to this networking party, which is, networking is Karma also, but in Beverly Hills on a rooftop poolside thing. And I was wandering around, and I had this little geeky technology badge on. And I found somebody that had a badge that said, Director of Enlightenment or Entertainment. And I go, he asked me what I did for a living. I said, I save in the world with computer systems. And I said, "What do you do?" And he said, "I put on parties at the Playboy Mansion." And I hugged him, bought him a drink, and I said, "You're my new best friend." That's how I got introduced to Karma.
Yeah, that was Sugarland too, right? The Sugarland party?
No, this was back in 2009 at the Playboy Mansion. Back in the day where... I met Henson, the girls next door, and Ron Artest at the time, and had a show with Snoop Dogg. And what happened is because I was introduced to that, and I loved the experience, but I had a major problem to solve. So I had to put my head back down, and it's been a number of years, and I'm glad to say I've been reintroduced to Karma, and now a member and living the life because. I've rejoined my brothers and sisters and my fraternity that I've never had, and it's complete family, and enjoy the experience. So it's a way of meeting. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I'm more interested in hearing you talk.
Okay, so when you're part of Karma, and we talked about finding people that know more than you, and you're the dumbest person in the room. When you're at an event, I might be the smartest person in the world of what I do. But I tap the guy on the shoulder next door, and he's the smartest person in the world at what he does. And when we work together and put our heads together on certain problems or whatever, you're finding it's easy to go just call a Karma member because they're the expert and they're your brother or sister, their family. But the work hard, play hard, have fun with everything you do. I'm out here in Vegas judging a bikini contest, and I'm here talking on the phone with you, and I'll be flying back to Hollywood for the Maximum Hot 100 to, produce that show and hang out with my brothers and sisters and just have a great time. So,
yes, I'm going to be there with you too, man. I'm going to that.
Fantastic. I will. I'd love to see you in person, but I feel that we know each other already. But hanging out together and with all my friends and all the girls from Maximum, got awesome event, right?
Yep, Maximum top 100 most beautiful people in the world, or most 100 women, beautiful women in the world, are going to be there, and Karma puts that on in conjunction with Maximum. It's going to be a huge party at the Palladium in Hollywood, and then the next day is the pool party. I'm attending both. It sounds like you're attending both, but I wanted to give the listeners a surprise. Last week, Marvin, who is one of the co-founders, he said that he was going to give out a couple of tickets, and he texted me a second ago, and he wanted me to make sure during your episode, make sure we let people know that he's giving away 2 free tickets. You can't go to this event unless you're either a Karma member or you're invited by a Karma member. So he's willing to give away 2 free tickets. But what you have to do is you have to go to Karma International's website. You have to look through the website and then send an email to me, Ron, at rcstechnologysolutions.com, and tell me a time in your life when karma played a significant role in something positive that happened to you. And then I will forward them on to Marvin, and he will choose the winner. But so go to Karma International's website, review the website, see what they're about, and then talk about your send in an email that has the an example of how karma played a role in your life for something positive, and I will forward them to Marvin, and he will choose the winners. And but we have like maybe 5 minutes left, and if you could possibly tell the listeners anything that you feel can help them, or how they can contact you, if that's appropriate. For if you had anything, a book or something that somebody might want to read. But
I guess the easiest way, for working professionals, the website is LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn is where you find people's backgrounds, education, resumes, timeline of how they got there, personal bios and things like that. So, Curtis Reichenfeld, just Google, go to LinkedIn, Curtis Reichenfeld. I'm the only one in there, and you're going to find me, and we can hook up that way. So I'll be happy to help and give back. Being with Karma. So the point being, we have fun and we party hard and we play hard and we work hard, but we also take that and give back wherever we can. Mentoring being one of these things, philanthropy, putting on the parties where the theme is a charity or nonprofit, make a wish. You can take a look at our website and you'll see all the great, not only the great parties we put on, but also the great work we do in the world. So I guess my suggestion is, go to karma.com, check it out. If that's something you feel is going to help you in your life, please join. And if you need anything from me, go to LinkedIn, send me an in-message, and we'll go from there.
I want to thank you so much, Curtis. It's really unbelievable when a CTO of a $5 billion organization and somebody who's working on, guidance systems for laser jets. I don't mean somebody who just oversees these people. I mean somebody who actually gets in there, rolls their shirt up. I mean, the level of intelligence and all this is like light years away from the average person. And entrepreneurs and business owners, oftentimes, it's kind of lonely. Oftentimes we'll be working by ourselves, even if we have other people, or we go to a lot of networking events, and sometimes it can be a little overwhelming. And so when we hear of staggering successes, it brings hope back, you know what I mean? And it just helps people just have a little more fire under their butt and know that it's possible, So thank you very much.
And exactly. And if you're that CTO or entrepreneur that is sitting in his dark office like I was, solving that problem, let a friend tap you on the shoulder and say, let's get out, let's go have a party, let's go have some fun, join Karma, or, get invited as a guest to not only our Maximum Hot 100, but if you look at our events calendar, there's beach parties, there's a Halloween party, there's a New Year's Eve party, everything's just off the hook, and you're going to meet all of us Karma members and just bond and have a good time together. And like I said, we are all approachable, as you know, and like I said, it's family, my brothers and sisters that I never had.
Excellent. I love it. And that's right in tune. If you look at like all the real major business deals, the vast majority of them do not get done in the boardroom and do not get done in, stuffing meetings with a bunch of spreadsheets. They get done on the golf course. I don't play golf, but a lot of them get done on the golf course, or they get done at parties or whatever it is. People get to know you, like you, trust you on a whole nother level, not just your work performance. So everything you guys do, I'm a big supporter of Karma International.
Yeah, and you are absolutely right. Business gets done, and everything about business is relationships and trust and building. And, building trust and building friendships and networking and get to know each other is the golf course or going out for a drink or going out to a party. And once you build that relationship, two CEOs, alpha dogs in the world that have been successful in their own right, they can get together as friends and make a deal. That's how it happens. You are absolutely right. And the boardrooms you see with everybody pushing paper and Excel spreadsheets, that's just the technical details that are ensuring the deal that you two have made, having a drink on the 19th, right? 19 pole.
Yep, that's the secret, man. So that's why I love it. I mean, if you go through my social media profile, you'll see I'm quite frequently doing similar things because I know that it's all about reaching out and building relationships with people, you know?
Yeah, and absolutely. And what karma does, because everybody in there has been vetted, and we are all, God, I hate to say this, we're all exceptional individuals, and it's hard to talk about yourself, right? But it jumpstarts these networks and relationships because every one of your brothers and sisters are exceptional in their own right. And rather than having to search the world for these people, they're right there. Come to one of our parties, hook up, build a new relationship, and we can all do good things.
Excellent, Curtis. You've been a wonderful guest, and I look forward to meeting you. And
I look forward to meeting you at the party, and our winners of the 2 complimentary Commerce tickets and the Maxim party with the top 100 is going to be awesome. And the next day, hanging out the Roosevelt Hotel at the pool party. What could be better, right?
I'm a big fan, and I plan to be there, so I know it's true. And listeners, you really need to get those free tickets. You can't believe it. You can Google Maxim, M-A-X-I-M, I believe, Maxim Party 2016. I mean, these are, if you're in business...
Maxim Events, I think it is. But, take some time, focus, like I said. Having that discussion of what karma means in your life and sending it to you could be a transformational change in your life by spending a few minutes sending you an email, Ron, and could change your life. I mean, change my life.
Excellent. Again, Curtis, thank you so much. And listeners, as I told you, this episode, as all episodes, are archived on my website, rcstechnologysolutions.com/media, and then just scroll down to where it says radio show, and you can listen to this episode as well as all the other episodes. And you've been listening to Curtis Reichenfeld and Ron Couming on the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show, where we help business owners achieve even greater success using various